Here we know that Jack, the father, he always told a story to his 4 years old daughter Joe in every evening and Saturday afternoon. And for last 2 years, this custom had been going, this custom of telling the story had been going on. Now, it happened that now actually father started to tell the story, so that after listening to the story, the daughter should fall asleep. But the daughter no longer sleeps after listening to the story. Still, father tells the story to his daughter, and this is the custom that father asks before telling the story. Father actually asks the daughter that about whom she wanted to listen the story. So as per this custom, here we can see that father asked his daughter that today about whom you want to listen the story, and the daughter thought and thought and thought and answered that skunk. So the daughter told that she wanted to listen a story about skunk. Now the father was surprised that where from my daughter had learned this name. Probably this might be this might be important for MCQ. That what do you feel that where from probably the girl had come to know about Roger Skunk? Actually, the answer should be that probably she had learned it in a nursery school. That so father actually could know that daughter had come to know about Roger Skunk in a nursery school, and as daughter told, so father had already started to tell the story. That last day we started here that father actually and skunk, I told last day that skunk is an animal, that small animal, and it emits very foul smell from its body, especially when it is getting afraid. Then skunk actually emits a very foul smell from his body. A very foul smell comes from his body. This is the speciality of skunk. And we know that whatever the character, whatever the main character of the story will be, his name will be Roger. So this story will be about Roger Skunk. So father had already started to tell the story to the daughter. Father had started that once upon a time in the deep dark wood there was a tiny little creature by the name of Roger Skunk, and he smelled very bad. Yes, Joe said, and the daughter told yes. Why? Because the daughter must have heard that the skunk animal is having bad smell. So whenever father told that Roger Skunk smelled very bad, the girl readily agreed to this fact. Now afterwards we will have to start today. I am reading from page number 49. I feel the book is available with you. So let's continue. Now father continued here. He smelled so bad that none of the other little woodland creatures would have played with him. Joe looked at him solemnly. She hadn't foreseen this. Now, each story, the Roger animal faces a problem. This is the basic of that each tale. Now, here father told that this is the problem of Roger Skunk, that he smelled so bad that none of the other little woodland creatures would play with him. This is Roger Skunk's problem. And when father told this problem, Joe, the little daughter, she looked at her father's face solemnly. Solemnly means seriously. Solemnly. She hadn't foreseen this. Foreseen means she hadn't predicted. Means we know that as per the story, Roger Skunk or the animal Roger animal must have a problem. So here Roger Skunk's problem was that because of that foul smell, no other creature wanted to play with him. That was Roger Skunk's problem. So when father told this, the girl looked at the father's face, and actually the girl could not predict that this might be Roger Skunk's problem. Whenever he would go out to play, Jack continued with jest, remembering certain humiliations of his own childhood. Now, Jack here continued with jest. Jest means enthusiasm. Now, when the girl was looking at her father, the father could realize that the girl could not understand or could not predict that what might be Jack's problem, what might be Roger Skunk problem. So father got extra courage. Now this is true. If you take our example, suppose you are telling a story to others, and the listeners are looking at you in such a way so that you can understand that to whom you are telling the story, they cannot understand what is going to happen in that story. So if you get this type of expression from the other listeners, then you must be courageous to tell the story. On the other hand, if you are telling a story and someone among your listeners, they tell that I know what is going to happen, if the case is something like this, then you must lose your enthusiasm to tell the story anymore. So this has happened to the father. The father, from the very facial expression of his daughter, could realize that what might be Roger Skunk's problem, the daughter could not predict it beforehand. That is why she looked at her father's face seriously. And as father realized that my daughter could not understand what might be Roger Skunk's problem and why, what would be his problem, as he could not understand. So father got extra jest, extra courage, and that is why father started to continue to tell. Now remembering certain humiliations over his childhood, and now father remembered that father told that what was Roger Skunk's problem, that whenever he would go to the woodland to play with the other creatures, the other creatures used to humiliate him because of that foul smell. They used to go away from him, they used to run away from him, and they actually refused to play with him. This is a certain humiliation from the point of Roger Skunk view. From Roger Skunk point, it was a certain humiliation. So father was going to describe this humiliation to his daughter, and when he was describing this humiliation, father Jack remembered that how in his childhood he had been humiliated by his friends sometimes. This is part and parcel of life. I feel everybody in their life have been humiliated once or twice or many times by the friends. Leg pulling, the friends are there for pulling the legs. So we all have humiliated sometimes. Even we have teased others also. We join in the party for humiliating other students also. So this is a part and parcel of life. So father had lots of humiliations in his life. So father remembered that how he had been humiliated in his life by the friends in his childhood. So he thought, and now he was describing. All of the other tiny animals would cry, "Oh no, here comes Roger's stinky skunk," and they would run away. And Roger Skunk would stand there all alone, and two little round tears would fall from his eyes. Now father told that whenever Roger Skunk would go to the woodland to play with the other creatures, the other creatures would shout, "Oh, here comes stinky skunk." Stinky means having bad smell, having foul smell. So here come Roger's stinky skunk, and they ran away from there, and Roger Skunk would stand there all alone, because Roger Skunk thought he was desolated. He used to stand there all alone, and two little round tears would fall from his eyes, and Roger Skunk started to cry, and round tears would actually used to fall to his eyes. The corners of Joe's mouth dropped down, and her lower lip bent forward as he stressed with a forefinger along the side of her nose the course of one of Roger Skunk's tears. So father, after telling that Roger Skunk was crying and two little round tears would fall from his eyes, after telling this, what father did, that father with the tip of his forefinger, this is forefinger, with the tip of his forefinger, actually the father had actually touched the corner of his daughter, and as if he made the way, that this is the way how actually the father had done. Actually the father touched the corner of the daughter's face, and like this he wanted to tell the daughter that this is how Roger Skunk was crying, and this is the way where Roger Skunk's drop had fallen. Okay, tears had fallen. Understood? Won't he see the owl? Now Roger Skunk's problem there. And we know every time when the Roger creature faces a problem, Roger creature at first goes to the owl. So this is the story, this is the basic of the storyline. So here the girl was worried because of the problem of Roger skunk, and now the girl asked this to her father, won't he see the owl? She asked in a high and faintly rough-ended voice. Rough-ended means the girl was very much, agitated. The girl was very much impatient. Why? Because this is the tendency of the little child, that whenever they would listen a story, they could correlate themselves with the hero of that story. So here, when Joe was listening to the story, as if she was thinking herself, the she was Roger skunk. Okay, this is the tendency of the little children, that whenever they actually listen to the story, they could correlate themselves with the main character of that story. So here definitely Joe, when she was listening to the story of Roger skunk, she could found the match or resemblance with Roger skunk, between Roger skunk and she. That is why she was very much worried, and she asked father that as Roger skunk was facing the problem, so wouldn't he see the owl? So would not he go to the owl? Sitting on the bed beside her, Jack felt the covered stalk, and her legs twitched tensely. Sitting on the bed beside her, father was sitting on the bed, the girl was lying beside him, and father was telling the story. So when father actually was sitting beside the girl, father could feel that the girl was lying, and half part of her body was covered. So under the cover, she was twitched tensely. Twist means she moved her feet tensely. It means the girl was very much agitated after listening to the story. He was pleased with this moment. Okay, with this moment, and father was pleased because this agitation points out that the daughter was enjoying the story, and the daughter was listening to the story with concentration. He was telling her something true, something she must know, and father was telling, yes, something true she must, something no means father was telling the problem of Roger skunk's life, and this is true. There is everyone there in the world, that those who are having the problem. Okay, so that is why father was telling something true to the girl. But downstairs a chair scrapped. Sauradip, exam will be conducted. So far I know that exam will be conducted in the month of September. So today is the 24th. We are having another 6 days. So be prepared that in 6 days, in any day, exam might be there. Okay. I don't feel that you must not be so much worried about, because this will be the rescheduled date of exam. We had the exam earlier, because of the technical problem we could not conduct exam then. But I feel in the month of September there will be exam. We are trying to conduct in the month of September, and probably in the month of September we will be there. And if it is so, let's see, today, tomorrow, we will be all intimated through our official website. The notice will be there in our official website. So I could tell you that please search our official website every now and then, and you can have the updates about examination. Okay, I don't have that specific date, but I can tell you that you should search, you should see our school website. Okay, now and then, so that you can have that exam schedule. But we are hoping that it would be exam may start in the month of September, though we are having only 6 days left, but still see that if we can start it in the month of September. Okay, that's I can tell. Okay, so come back to our, and I don't feel that there you must be worried about, because the syllabus that we told, I feel more than 1 month ago, we have told the syllabus, the same 20 marks question, MCQ. I don't feel that it's going to be very tough, but be mentally prepared that any day exam will be there. Okay, so then he was telling her something truth. Coming back to the text, so father was telling that he was telling her something true. What something true that father was telling about the problem of Roger skunk to his daughter. And why it is true? Because we know that a problem is there in everybody's life. So what father was telling, it's true. Something she must know, and something father wanted that the girl must know about various problem of life, and had no wish to hurry on. And as from the expression of the girl, from the movement of her feet, father could realize that girl was very much excited. It is true that if you tell a story to others, and if you feel the listeners are getting excited after listening to the story, then you must be you must enjoy it, isn't it? Otherwise, if you tell a story and if you see that the listeners are not listening it carefully, and they don't have any change in them, the story can no longer move them, there is no impact of the story on them, then as a storyteller you might not be interested. But if you see it, if it happens opposite. So here, from the very expression of the girl and from her attitude, from her movement, the father could understand that the girl was listening to the story carefully, and that encouraged the father the most, and that is why the father was enjoying, and that is the reason that he had no wish to hurry on. He had no wish to hurry on. So father was enjoying telling the story. But downstairs a chain scrapped, and he realized he must get down to help clear paint the living room woodwork. And that time, father heard a sound. Actually, he was telling the story in the upstairs. So downstairs, a chair had been scrapped. Scrapped means moved from this place to that place. Dragged. Scrap means dragged. The father could listen the dragging sound of the chair and see, and he remembered that his wife Claire, just remember the name, his wife Claire was painting the woodwork. So the father also thought that he must go and help his wife Claire downstairs. Well, now father thought that he must go and help his wife Claire, but at present he continued with the story. Well, he walked alone very sadly and came to a very big tree, and in the tiptoe of the tree was an enormous wise old owl. So father continued that as Roger Skunk was crying, Roger Skunk was feeling desolated, Roger Skunk was feeling alone there. Now to solve the problem, Roger Skunk came to that forest, and Roger Skunk came, here it is, that came in front of a very big tree, and in the tiptoe of the tree, tiptoe means at the topmost branch, at the topmost branch of the tree, there was an enormous wise old owl. See the picture of the owl. Good, the girl told, good. Why the girl told good? Because this is the problem that, this is the way that the problem will be solved. Mr. Owl, Roger Skunk said, all the other little animals ran away from me because I smell so bad. Now Roger Skunk went to the owl, and Roger Skunk told this to the owl, his problem. He told the owl that all the other little animals ran away from me. This is Roger Skunk's problem. So this might be important for your exam also. In exam it may come that what was Roger Skunk's problem. So this was the problem, that all the other little animals ran away from me because I smell so bad. So you do, the owl said. So you do, the owl told, yes, it is true. It is true. If the other animals, if the other little creature ran away from you because of your bad smell, it is true, because you are really smelling bad. Very, very bad. Very, very bad. That, the owl told. What can I do? Roger Skunk said, and he cried very hard. And Roger Skunk told, what can I do right now? Now, this is the every story, that whenever Roger suffers from a problem, he goes to the owl, and the owl suggests him to go to the wizard. So here also, Roger Skunk problem is that because of his foul smell, because of his bad smell, everybody runs away from him, and nobody was there to play with him. That is why he was asking this to the owl, that what I can do. Now, and he started to cry very hard. The wizard, Joe shouted, and sat up and sat right up, and a little golden book spilled from the bed. Now the girl was very much excited when Roger Skunk asked this to the owl, that what I can do. The owl did not say anything, but here Joe answered, the wizard, because Joe knew that the owl would suggest him to go to the wizard. But why the girl is so much impatient? Because the girl could not tolerate the problem of Roger Skunk, and the reason reason is why I'm told that whenever the girl was listening to the story, she could correlate herself with Roger Skunk, as if she was thinking she was Roger Skunk herself, and that is why she becomes so much impatient to solve her problem, as if Roger Skunk's problem means her problem, and she wanted to solve it very quickly, and that is why she was getting impatient, and that is the reason that she suggested that Wizard, though the owl did not tell anything to Roger Skunk, but the girl was shouting, Wizard. She sat up. She was lying, but she was so much excited. She sat up, and a little golden book spilled from the bed. Spilled means dropped down. And the golden book was there in the bed. It had dropped down because of that excitement. Now, Joe, daddy is telling the story. Now, father is getting angry. Yes, father was telling the story. So, it is also true. Suppose you are telling the story, and somebody is there who is interfering, and he is telling the story before you have told. So this might irritate the storyteller. Here also father is getting irritating when the daughter is shouting. First time the daughter told that whether he would go to the owl. Now she is telling that Wizard means she actually wanted to tell that Roger Skunk must go to the Wizard and all these. So father actually became angry, irritated, and told that, do you want to tell daddy the story? Do you want that I should tell the story to you? So why you are shouting like this? No, you, me. No, a father actually asked Joe, his daughter, what do you want? Do you tell the story to me? Do you tell the story to daddy? No, you, me. A daughter told, no, I'm not going to tell the story to you. You just tell me. You tell to me. Then lie down and be sleepy. So father told, then you lie down and feel sleepy. Her head relapsed onto the pillow and she said, out of your head. So the girl again, she lied down, and there was a pillow, so the girl had kept her head on that pillow, and after lying down, she told her father that you tell the story out of your head, means you tell the story out of your head. Well, the owl thought and thought. At last he said, why don't you go see the Wizard? Now, the owl, father told, the owl was thinking and thinking and thinking after listening to the problem of Roger Skunk. And then the owl suggested, why don't you go to see the Wizard? Wizard means magician. So as if the owl suggested Roger Skunk that you must go to the Wizard, to the magician. No, daddy. Now at that juncture, at this point, the girl asked a question to her father. Daddy, what? Are magic spells real? The girl asked this question. Are magic spells real? You are telling that Wizard would go there and there will be a magic spell and the problem will be solved. So the girl wanted to know from her father whether the magic spells that the Wizard do or the magicians do, whether these are real. This was a new phase, just this last month, a reality phase. And father here narrator is telling, this is a new phase. New phase means, beforehand also, father used to tell story to Joe. But Joe did not ask questions. But now it happened, just for a last month, Joe had started to ask question to father. And that is why father told it's a new phase, reality phase. When he told her spiders eat bugs, she turned to her mother and asked, do they really? Means here, the girl is not believing what father is telling as a sort of story. So when it has been stated that when father told that the father told that when the spiders eat bugs, she had gone to the mother to ask whether it is correct or not. Actually, these tells about the inquisitive nature of the children. Inquisitive means the children are so much interested to know new things. Earlier, when father used to tell this, the child Joe used to believe all this. But now it had happened for last month that the girl was not ready to listen or to believe all this what father is telling to her. And that is why when she asked this whether the magic spells were real. And earlier also when father asked her that spiders eat bugs, then the daughter did not ask this question to the father, but the daughter had gone to her mother to ask whether it was correct or not. And when Claire told God was in the sky and we all around them. She turned to her father and insisted with a sly yet eager smile, "Is he really?" And when mother told, when she had heard from her mother that God lives in the sky, then she did not believe to this fact, and she had come and asked this to her father with a sly smile in her face. Sly means cunning, that she was clever, with a clever smile. She asked this to her father, that is it really? Does God really live in the sky? Soradeep, you are not concentrating what I am stating here. You are asking questions, sir. You heard any news that when our CBSE board exam held? No. No such news is there. Generally, your board exam holds at the end of February or at the starting of March. So there is no change yet. If there is change, then not only me, you also could listen it. Okay. This is true that no such circular had come here. So you must not be so much panicked about. But in that time, you have not listened what I am telling. Right? Okay, so today up to this, I feel that you were lacking in concentration. So it happens. So here easy really up to this, we had completed today. We will have to complete it. Then we are having another 2 chapters more for our exam. So today up to this, and thank you for joining my class. We'll see you in our next class.